I see.
Yeah, boy. See, we pay for that subscription to get back. That's the benefits of being verified. Well, since everybody had a dramatic pause, it doesn't matter because it is officially Wednesday and the red light is on. And yes, we're back live on X. And the Wrestling Realm Now podcast is back to bring you all the wrestling superior intellect, entertainment, fun, all that good jazz. Because tonight we are going to talk about arguably the greatest of all time, John Cena. His time is officially coming to an end soon. We officially have the date for his last match. But the question is, how does it all end for John Cena? How does he finally culminate his WWE career and bring it to a close? We're going to talk about all that, and Sister Naomi and Brother Jimmy, Big Jim, they are expecting. They are having a baby, and it has set the pro wrestling world ablaze. This is different. There seems to be two trains of thoughts on the situation as well. And we are going to talk about this pending ESPN deal. There's some things that's going on, including some it's noticeable that ESPN has officially removed AEW from their pro wrestling tab. We're going to read the press release and so much because I guess what, September 20th, it is official. We officially have a brand new WWE PLE. It has an older name. I feel like we've seen this before somewhere, but Wrestlepalooza will be the first official kickoff PLE for the ESPN WWE partnership. That's probably why I saw John Cena on that commercial. All that and more as we jump into it. So, as usual, sit back, relax, and enjoy yourselves because we are going to take you on a wild ride like we do each and every Wednesday. Let's go!
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!
Welcome to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, I'm your host, the realness himself, the real Dwayne Allen. I don't know why I said that word. And he is your host, Brother Hugh, Mr. Super Producer. A to the A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R to the D. Brother Hugh is in the building tonight. And he is your host, not just any guy, but Brandon the Guy. The Belt King is not in the building tonight. More on that later on. And he is your host, the heart and soul, the founder of the wrestling realm. And after all this time, he is still a heel. Hollywood. Brian H. Waters is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another show. It's Wednesday. Brothers, how are we feeling today? What's going on? What you guys been up to?
Make you feel all right. Got to feel all right. You know, I've listened to some good old quartets when I've been in the gym. And you know, I've been getting my workout in.
I have a question for you.
We having a
That's
good
crazy.
time.
I have a question for you.
What it do, realness? Because my
Since
kids
you listen to
is in the building. And my daughter looking at me like I'm crazy. Son on the game, playing
so
a
he in
little
his world.
Roadblocks.
Yeah, he in his bag today. He can't let him go.
Come here. You know what? You know, you can make your appearance. Come on.
Ooh.
Come on, because she got a new hairstyle.
Uh-oh, the hair done did? Okay.
I am over 18 and we here. You see your uncles? Say hi to your uncle.
Ooh, what's
You gotta
up,
sit down in the
girl?
corner right there. No,
Hi,
you gotta
girlie.
come down. Like, here, sit.
That is my beautiful goddaughter.
See?
There she go.
Oh, look at it. She's getting so big. I can't. Oh, God.
Where you going?
No.
Johnson ate them.
He ate them.
Oh, my God. If she said he ate them,
Right.
if she said that's what he did, then that's what he did. I believe
That's
anything
exact-
she says.
100%.
See, that's how I know the show's going to be good. That made my day. I don't get to see her often as much as I would like to. So, thank you. So,
You know what's
guys
funny?
are lucky. What's that?
I just watched that episode of Martin with Reverend Leon Lonnie Love
Whoa, wait.
singing that song.
Oh,
I Got that feeling. Everything is gonna be all right.
Man, let me tell y'all. Because I missed his birthday last week. Happy birthday to Big H.
Big H.
Can't nobody hit that bass run like Big H.
Nah, brother. Nope. Legend.
He'll tell you, hey man, just don't zoom in on my strings too much. I don't want nobody to see my chords. I got you, babe. Don't worry about it.
Sir.
I get in and I'll get out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I have a question for you. With you listening to all the quartet music in the gym, do you ever catch the Holy Ghost in the middle of trying to lift weights? What does it happen? I'm just asking. Just because, brother, I don't know if you have or not. Have you ever seen them perform Step Into the Water live when Maurice gets in that mic? He loses it every time.
I don't know. I might have. Let me think.
Early in the day, but I think by that time we switched to Take a Trip. By the time Brother Hugh was coming around, he might have heard Color Purple one time, but yeah, by that
Maurice,
time,
he Step Into the Water comes in, bro.
Hey.
It's like if you ever watch a gangster catch the Holy Ghost, that's how it looks. He got
gangster catch the Holy Ghost.
Bro, he looked like he was fighting in the spirit, bro. He got the moving. He put that mic down. He get to going. I was like, get him out the way. I had to move to the side. I started hitting I was like, he got me going, bro. I'm telling you,
I'm sitting there playing drums, right? I never forget this. I'm playing drums, right? So I'm driving, and I look. The Realness sitting there with the camera, so I just know the shot's gonna be right because it's the first time
100%.
Dwayne Allen came out with the camera, and next thing I know, he waving his hand, and I'm like, wow! I go back and look at the footage, didn't miss a beat, dog. And that's the reason why that's the reason why we walked around Morgan State like we owned the place because guess what we did. Because,
definitely did.
Yeah, the Realness. We own the corners. We own it. I mean, and he got pictures. He on the board with the 4.0 GPA.
Yeah, it was 398. That's cool though. But shoot, don't forget, brother Hugh getting carried to the quad with the championship belt on his shoulder.
Hey, right.
Say Hugh, say it, brother Hugh. What they do? Come on,
scoop me, bro. They scoop me. Yes, sir.
And then they scoop me.
Oh my gosh!
I need to find that clip. And
we definitely need that footage.
Well, it's a clip. It's definitely a social media clip, but we need that as a sound drop. And then they scoop me.
We need to figure that out.
100%.
Homecoming season around the corner, y'all.
It is.
I might have to go to Taco Bell.
Brother Fam and his crew, they be sitting out there, got the grill out and everything. Last time I had the good early morning fellowship with some Brother Fam's fried chicken before they started. So yeah, it was a good old time. And they be the OG Morgan heads. So
it was it fried chicken and Crown Royal.
Oh man, I'm not gonna say any jokes after that. We have a multi-race audience.
So yeah, sure. Brother Matt's in the building. Brother Matt's in
It's always a pleasure, Brother Matt.
OG Matt, all the way back in the what's the name of that place? The Dewburns.
Oh boy,
Dewburns.
My brother, talk to my brother every day. Of course, Queen PR in the building. And Prototype 619 in the building. Wait, that was mutual. Brother Hugh and Queen PR wasn't at this time.
Nah. You see, you don't get me started, bro.
I said, brother, Hugh's tired, bro. He don't got time. It's usually
that don't sound like a healthy mix.
Look, for more reasons than you realize.
It actually can be.
On what day?
I would know.
Homecoming.
Okay.
Because by the time you will walk it off, and then you're gonna have somebody interrupt the shenanigans when you're trying to put Brother Hugh on.
Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. Definitely took it out that day.
It's almost the anniversary of that moment. It's almost the anniversary of that moment. Hopefully we get different results next year, but
yeah, that's why we came home. We recorded. We watched. What was that? No Mercy. No, not No Mercy.
No. What Shelly?
That's right. I like that. Yeah, you guys did a good job.
It was the whatever the tribal chief was there. I know he was in the building. He teamed with Cody in Atlanta, and
was it Bad Blood?
Bad Blood. It was Bad Blood.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems like everybody's in a good space to talk about a little bit of wrestling. It's a lot going on this time of year. We're transitioning from the summer into the fall season, and guess what? Pro wrestling is no different. So, like you said, as we kind of wind down the summer and transition into the fall, there's a lot going on today. And like I said, the main event of our show tonight is obviously John Cena. It's coming to an end, right? We have an official date of when he will have his last match. But how does he wrap up such a storied career? What creative are they going to put in place? What tables are left unturned that need to be, I'm assuming, turned in order for him to cap off his amazing career? Like I said, some people, consider him the greatest of all time. When it's all said and done, it's probably going to be Roman when it's all. Let's just be honest. But as of right now, John Cena. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit of creative, man. But yeah, before we get into all those things, obviously, like I said, every Tuesday at 8 p.m., there is something that comes to the platform of the wrestling realm known as championship culture, where Brandon the Guy, and brother Hugh, they bring you everything in championship culture related conversations, boxings, breakdowns, and more. Now, this Tuesday, there was no episode, but Brother Guy is not here. He is, once again, such a humanitarian. Another mission trip. He is freeing crickets off the edge of the coast of Costa Rica. There's a outbreak, and the crickets have been overrun by some algae and other creatures. But once again, Brother Guy and his humanitarian efforts, they are taking care of the little creatures on this earth. God made them all. So shout out to you, Brother Guy, for not being here.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, usually we have a conversation, and there was no episode this week. Now, I'm assuming there's going to be an episode next week. Now, Brother Hugh, while you're here,
yes,
I just want to know, is there anything you could possibly tell us about next week's episode of Championship Culture? Now, the guy's not here. You're free. You're the man. You can do whatever you want to do. So if you want to spill the beans right now while he's not here, I won't say nothing. Other people watching won't say anything. But is there anything?
Daggone well that Brother Hugh is not going to tell you anything about the next show. You know this.
No, listen to me. I thought I'd try. You were in a good mood, but
you're right.
With that being said, we'll just let people listen to the theme music and just prepare for themselves next week. So here you go. So that is right. So, like I said, every Tuesday, 8 p.m., I'm assuming there's going to be a show next week. So
yes,
you have to tune in. So Brother Hugh's officially confirmed there will be a show next week, well into season 4 of Championship Culture. Now, because there was no episode this week, do yourself a favor. I'm sure you have not caught up on it all. Maybe you have, but go back and watch all the previous episodes in season 4, as well as season 3, season 2, the bonus episode, and much more. Now, Brother Hugh will not spill the beans on what next week's episode is about. I'm going to try one more thing. Is there anything you can tell us about what may be coming this season? Just broad. You don't got to get specific, but just tell us anything. You got anything coming down the line?
He got it. There it is right there.
I bet it involves belts and tips. There you go. Justin, you're quick. So, there you have it. So join Championship Culture next week, next Tuesday at 8 p.m. YouTube.com/Wrestling Realm. And stay tuned, of course, to the Instagram channel. The Instagram channel, Championship Culture _
Yep.
On Instagram. So yeah. So with that being said, there's also a lot that's going on. As we promised, as we move down the year, the Wrestling Room is expanding and diversifying content. So there's always something on our YouTube channel. We're treating it like our own network. We're bringing different type of shows, different type of content, and there's still a handful that we're going to jump into, spread out between YouTube as well as Instagram Live, TikTok, etc. But until then, there's still plenty of content that you can catch. Like Brian H. Talk to the people. You're back in the saddle, right? Somebody that pissed you off, I can tell. So tell the people more Wrestling Room content from Brian. Tell the people what you got already posted, and maybe give people a hint of what you might got coming down the line, if there is something. I'm sure there is.
It's already posted. I talked about this ESPN partnership with WWE. I talked about that. So make sure y'all check that out, because if for those who do not know, y'all may remember the little rip of excuse me, that's what I get, I guess.
Yep.
The rip of the Disney mouse. But yeah, I used to
I don't
work at
take orders from nobody.
Nobody.
Look, they want to do business. Wrestling Realm is open for conversations, you know.
True that.
So yeah, I
Talk.
talked
That's
about
over
that
here.
and why this is why this is important and what this could mean, including. Are y'all ready for PLE results on Sports Center? So look for that. Aura in Professional Wrestling, episode 300. Break it down, Brian H. The podcast that started somewhere leading up to the road to WrestleMania 34. And here we are. That was in 2018. And here we are 300 episodes later. So we talked about Aura in Professional Wrestling. Me and Queen PR. We tuned in to what Chat GPT had to say, and we reacted to some of those posts. So that was pretty cool. They said, they did say Okada had some aura. So we debated about that. Which I still don't think he does, but maybe Swerve can bring it out of him. And then last but not least, talking to Jay Bougie. Make sure y'all check out that interview. See, you got the big ETU show coming up in September. And so there's a lot of promotion. So you might even be seeing some more special guests on Wrestling for the Culture, as well as I actually had an idea to shoot a Break It Down with Brian H episode, but I had work to do today. So I had I filmed my Breaking Through Glass Ceilings, cross promotion 6HM Productions, where I talked about Target and these MLB realignment. What the heck? And Layla Ali.
Did you say Target, bro?
Yeah, the stock dropped because
they got a new CEO. He stepped down, didn't he?
Actually, he moved up. That's what I learned. He moved up and somebody else came in because of the whole DEI. But they trying to say other sales, and they're trying to blame it on Amazon and Walmart. People been around. We all know what it is. People actually protested. But yeah, I talked about that on that program. So make sure y'all check that out on the other channel. But I was about to record. I'm gonna tell it. We family. I'm gonna do a spotlight on Naomi. Yeah, I want to do a spotlight on Naomi, but I wanted to make sure it was right. And when the meter isn't at 100, it was at about 95, at 89 to 95. I couldn't do it. The meter got to be at 100. So
that'll be great because we'll be talking about her today. As far as her and Big Jim's big announcement, finally pregnant. So that'll be good that you're doing a spotlight on her. Especially, I know you've always, like you say, you've been an advocate for her from the beginning. So.
First wrestler to make me draw a tear in person.
At the win. God dang. Okay.
WrestleMania 33. I was in the building.
Must have been nice. WrestleManias, right?
Right.
My bad. I know that was.
That's cool. No, that's cool.
But this year when I saw her, she was, she gave me a hug like we was friends. She was like, I recognized you. I said, well, we met a couple of years ago, and then we was on the Zoom call. Nah, but you look familiar.
You know what? You're right.
Very southern, like just like their family, they all very welcoming. Shout out to Lance on Hawaii doing his thing. I told you the exchange I had with Jay Uso in the suite in Netflix.
Oh yes, you did.
Yeah, I told him how Lance we used to go back and forth on 2K way back in the day when I was actually good at that game. He's like, he trash though. He trash. And then me and Jay had a drink. We had a little drink together.
All right. What
Cody
call it?
Huh?
Remember him and Cody was drunk? What did they call it? Like we had a few. They said
libations.
Libations. Okay, that's what
right.
Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Me and Jay, we have a few libations.
That's when Yeet was born.
Right.
Jay just said, "Mike, Yeet." Like, okay. Right. But yes, listen, that is a lot to see. There's a lot of content, but fellas, man.
Oh, yeah.
You won't believe. You won't believe this, man. Finally, after all these years, Brian H., for those that don't know, Brian H. has been inspiring me, right? He's been telling me 4 years, like, brother, there's people that want to hear what you have to say. And I'm like, nah, baby, that's for somebody else. I'm going to stay right where I'm at. And I'm like, nah, I'm like, Brian H., no, I'm not really sure. this is the direction I should go in. And Brian is like, man, you got to do it. And once again, I said,
no, baby, that's for somebody else. We're just going to keep you right where you're at right now.
and then Brian said, realness, you got to hear this. The people need to hear what you have to say. So for years, I've been trying to piece it together, and it is official tomorrow, debuting Thursday at 8 p.m. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Realness Reacts. Its official debut. Finally, I've done it. Brian H., I know you're happy. I know you're proud of me because you've been asking me for like a decade plus to do something like this. And now I finally figured it out. So, the very first...
Oh, I got a feeling everything's gonna be all right. Oh,
that's right.
You just watch it, Brother Hugh.
Yep.
Everything's gonna be all right. All right. All right.
It'll be all right. Hey.
The funny part is when he starts laughing halfway through, he's like, the Holy Ghost, and just starts snickering.
Right.
He looks at Cole's face and starts laughing. But yes,
Yo.
Realness Reacts. It's actually for real. This is a thing, man. So the debut episode of Realness Reacts will be me discussing WWE Unreal on Netflix and discussing how real this show actually is. And I'm going to break a few things down. I'm going to tap into some things, and there might be some shenanigans, some trolling in the process. So there you have it. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. right here on youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. That's where you can find the debut of Realness Reacts. This should be a lot of fun. I think Brownie thinks I'm good at it, but we'll see. Thank you, Vaughn. I appreciate it. So yes, so that is tomorrow. Well, I think we got all the logistics out the way. So with that being said, there's quite a few things that we have to get into today. But as usual, we are going to ask our co-host, Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa, to do us the ceremonious effort of ringing the bell so we can start the show. So gentlemen, can you do us a solid and help us ring the bell so we can get this show started for real? Gentlemen?
Want to ring the bell?
Ding, ding.
All right, let's start the show. Every week we do a segment known as What Did You Watch? Now, why do we do this? We watch a bunch of professional wrestling just to put our minds and our hearts in a space to have these intelligent conversations. Besides, we got to catch up with the brothers about what the heck we've been watching since we are avid wrestling fans as it is. So, without further ado, I'd like to ask the brothers one major question. What did you watch? Brought to you by good friends at SeatGeek. If you're looking to purchase tickets to concerts, live shows, sporting events, and more, head over to SeatGeek.com where you can use our promo code Wrestling Realm for any one-time purchase of $50 or more. That's promo code Wrestling Realm on any one-time purchase of $50 or more.
He ain't lying.
Thank you. What did you watch? All right, good brothers. What did you watch this week? Who wants to dive into it first? You guys won't believe what I watched, but go ahead. What did you watch?
I watched a whole lot of TNA wrestling.
Talk
That's
about it, brother Hugh, because you were on the road.
TNA finally brought their butt to Baltimore. And
did you bring us any photos? You didn't bring us no photos.
No, because I was upset. I'm still a little tight because somebody wasn't there. I wore my shirt, everything, like a little fanboy, and he wasn't there. You know what I mean? But his brother was there. He looked like I saw the white boots too.
Well, at least he had them on.
His brother was either wearing his boots or they have the same boots. So we saw the white boots. That was good. That was a plus. And I heard his song twice, but he wasn't there. So I have a bone to pick with him. But it is what it is. We did see some awesome wrestling at TNA. I got a newfound respect for Brother Moose.
Really? You like
yes.
Moose? Here, this Brian H. Are you triggered?
Hey man, dude can go. And seeing him in person.
So you're saying? I'm sorry. We got to. This is hold on. This is breaking news, man. Hold on. Brother Hugh is gone on the record in front of the world and said that Moose brother can go. we've been,
Hey,
you know, we
man.
always hard on the black wrestlers because, you know, we know how our culture is. We got to set a standard and we're always hard on our own people. You're saying after all these years, we watched them live and in person. We've seen them backstage, everything. You're saying you are sold on Big Moose being the man in TNA finally? He can go talk to us.
Yeah, man. Awesome match, awesome performance. Of course, he was here. He was home, but I didn't realize he could do so much for how big he is. As you know, his frame. He's a big dude. He up here doing drop kicks, all you know, and all types of foolishness. And I'm just like, dag. I've been hard on this brother for so long. I'm like, he still can't talk. He still can't talk. I'm gonna give him that. But he's pretty good in the ring, and there's a reason why he's the face of the franchise. That's literally that's TNA's biggest star right now.
He kind of is like they're a homegrown guy, not really homegrown, but you know they're
right.
So you think he's ready to carry the flag again?
Oh, he's been ready. If anything, I think he's the one that's going to take it off a Trick.
Yeah, who else is going? Okay,
I mean,
I'm not passionate.
Maybe Joe Hendry. They might run it back with Joe Hendry because I feel like he needs something now.
Right, how you feeling about this?
I mean, you know, eventually he was gonna get good. You know, it couldn't be bad forever.
Right.
Okay, there it is.
I mean, I'm not a Moose guy. You know, he don't do it for me. I don't know if it's weird. His look, but
right.
Brother Hugh like him.
Don't say it like that though.
Yeah, right. Voice got high and everything. Okay. But we were there to see Trick Willie.
Talk to him.
Man, Trick Willie is crazy. Bro, he is hilarious, full of charisma. He owns the show. Literally, he said he runs 2 brands. He literally runs 2 brands. That's the person that you come to see.
Wow.
Straight up. 100%.
He's come a long way too, hasn't he?
A long way. And you said it early. He's a bigger star than Melo already. So hopefully they I hate to do it, Melo, but they need to find something for you on the main roster.
What did I say? I said he's got size, he's got a look. If this dude ever learns to wrestle, I said he's going to surpass him.
Yeah.
And he looks more and more like Booker T in the ring every day. Like you can tell that man he is under the Booker T learning tree. Even his mannerisms, the way he swings his arm, little subtle nuances that only people like us would pay attention to. I was like, oh yeah, you can tell he's been under that Booker T learning tree because a lot of his mannerisms, the stuff that Booker T used to do, it's the small things that make a difference.
Yeah. Yep. But he's it for sure. And looking to see what's next for him. I feel like he's gonna lose the title soon. I feel like he has to.
It's time to move on. A TNA is just about established, right?
Right.
You think it's time?
I feel like it somebody else has to get it off of him. I'm just not sure who.
Gotta be moved.
I don't think. I think he can lose it, but I don't think he needs to go anywhere. I wouldn't mind to see him have a couple back and forths because I'm not ready for Trick Williams to be on the main roster. If we call
you want him to have a full-blown TNA career, like he's gonna have a whole run.
Why not?
He needs that in between because what do you do with a Trick Williams on the main roster right now?
Nothing at all.
For all his purposes, he's still learning. You know, he got the hard part out the way. That's connection and charisma. He's still learning the in-ring stuff, which is good, but that's why this partnership is beneficial to him. You know, and it's benefiting WWE and TNA because TNA gets a bigger product. You know, some fresh dance partners. And guess what? You could create a feud. I know you're not like big on Mike Santana, but you can have a big feud with them that lasts 6 to 8 months. You don't.
That looks like the direction they're going to.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't like his look. I want him to have trunks or something. He's been wearing like work clothes his whole career. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's and that's the thing, right? You know what I mean? Like he's not this person by any means, but like with Mike Santana, a look is all you gotta change. When you're a tag team for so long, you gotta get out of that same look. Look at the Miz. The Miz, when we took Miz seriously, is when he stopped looking like he was a part of Miz and Morrison. You look at Shawn Michaels when he started putting the hearts on, right? Even
my favorite gear.
Yes, even Scott Steiner had a different look, but he was introducing us to that look during the day with the hair.
Yep.
Even Roman Reigns. We as adults couldn't really take Roman seriously until he took off the vest. Granted, he changed the color so it didn't look exactly like the Shield. But anytime you hear dude, you think of the Shield, Roman.
Of course.
Let's call it what it is. So I agree with that part when it comes time when you talk about Mike Santana. But like, and Matt said it best right here. Trick would get lost on the main roster. You're gonna get that initial pop. You know, you're gonna do the whoop that trick a few times. But how long can you keep going with the whoop that tricks all over the country until he's really like a hard-hitting established superstar? Because now it gets to the point where your people who debut on your main roster, you're going to get those effects that we would get when AJ Styles. We don't get those effects from the indies no more, unless Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega come over, or even John Moxley, or Mercedes Monet.
Yeah.
Maybe Tony Storm.
Tony Storm, definitely. Timeless Tony Storm.
And that's all I could think of. I may like a Willow Nightingale. I may like an Athena. They're not getting that, oh my gosh, he's here.
No, they're not. They're not.
Right?
Yeah.
The way you do that now is making them into super mega star. Well, you know, super duper. I'll say super duper stars on the NXT and TNA level. So then by the time they get to, you know, that's why I love Trick being upset that he wasn't in the Royal Rumble. You know, because guess what? Now it creates that story.
He can use it. Yeah.
He did. He used that with Average Joe. Now, I think he's kind of with this whole Joe Hendry thing. He's kind of having some Adam Cole carrying crosses because I'm not feeling like I don't see no more little heightness.
I agree.
And calling him Average Joe, I don't think it was done on purpose, like the whole Adam Cole thing.
It's kind of plateaued a little bit.
It made it plateau because when you call somebody Average Joe,
it's like, well, dang.
It's like, wait a minute. Yo, this dude really is average.
Hey, 100%.
I said the same thing. I was like, he's not. It's all right. It's like the initial but at the WrestleMania. It's like, all right, well.
I told you they couldn't take a belt off of him. He had to hold that belt forever.
You said it though, and guess what? Sometimes that's okay. If that's the biggest point, if he never gets any bigger, he had a WrestleMania match with Randy.
That is true.
Yeah, like you know, it's like, all right, well, it's not gonna get any bigger than this for a while. Let's go back to the drawing board. Same thing though, but he needs dance partners. It's like what you were saying, what Trick Williams is doing in TNA. I was like, oh, I didn't see this coming, but like he's actually like, and think about the business part of it all. These sharp businessmen. CW loves Trick Williams and stuff like that. Now all of a sudden he's their champion. The TV companies don't know the nature of the partnerships, right? So all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, we know Trick Williams. And now they're like, hey, listen, we got TNA over here. You know, we're in partnership with them. You think about a TV deal, you know, Trick's, you know, look at him. He's over here right now. They're like, oh, okay, well, is this what you guys are doing? This might work for us. You know what I mean? Little stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, see, this is all right. This is all playing into each other. But yeah, you know, so what else did you enjoy about seeing TNA live, Brother Hugh? Was there anything else? Did you see the Hardys?
Oh yeah, we saw the Hardys. The Hardys, they did their thing. You know, everybody popped for Jeff. You know, of course. You know, my match of the nights, both nights, was actually Leon Slater versus Cedric Alexander.
Cedric Alexander, that dude, man.
They put on the show. Yes,
I love the fact he's in TNA.
Yes, I'm glad he's there because we get to see the old Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, right.
From our always days.
And because like you don't have to reintroduce him to a new audience, they know who he is.
Right.
TNA being an extension of NXT is like, I think it's a bold move for Cedric Alexander. Like, bro, he could have easily went to join the Hurt Syndicate and put the group back together, but they're so dominant now. They don't need anybody else, anyways. You know, so
not at all.
Shout out to Cedric Alexander for doing his own thing.
But yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed myself at the shows. Just Brother Nemeth didn't show up, but that's all good. You know.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm had to call him up or something.
Yeah, but they text him.
See what was up. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Brian? What did you watch this week, buddy?
Oh man, it's been one of them weeks. You know what I watched?
What's that?
What you watching?
Paul Heyman sit down with Ariel Helwani.
Okay, talk about it.
And I had to bring a question to the group.
Let's discuss. We're good with questions and discussing things.
Now, y'all know how I feel about Mr. Los Angeles Knight. Now,
Well,
Paul,
we do know how you feel about him. And guess what? I got a feeling LA Knight knows how you feel about him too. Let's ask him. LA Knight, don't you know how Brian H feels about you?
He ain't lying.
Brian H.
So Paul Heyman said, Ariel was like, so was Seth Rollins really hurt? Was he really injured? And he said no. He said it was the long-term plan. It was plan B. The plan was you got to get the title. Well, you get the title. Now, what's the quickest way to get the title? Because you got to show that this whole turn made sense because he wanted power, right? In order for Seth Rollins to have the power, he had to get the title. In order to get the title, he got the money in the bank. Okay, now get out of Dodge. So my question was, Seth Rollins faked an injury in a match with LA Knight. Was that even is it like, did he just completely discard LA Knight? Now I know LA Knight is still in the title picture. My wrestling intelligence says because LA Knight beat Seth Rollins, that gives him some sort of dibs at Seth Rollins because, hey, I beat you when you wasn't champion. Now you got the belt and I beat you beforehand. I get a title shot. I'm a contender. But I really started thinking, did he not care about LA Knight that much that he was just like, you know what? Let me take this L real quick, get out of Dodge. Because, and the reason why I asked, I'm trying to make sure I piece this question together right.
Oh yeah, because I feel the fire burning. This is about to be an explosion. I feel it. It's just brewing.
Well, that's why I said that in the chat because I was like, I'm gonna ask them when we get on the air.
Here comes a heavy hitter.
Was LA Knight really just that easily I ain't worried about you so I'll take this L. I'll let you get this win over me, and then I'm gonna go fake my injury because I'm about to become champion anyway. Was LA Knight really just not even in his league?
Oh.
He's so disrespectful. He could have stopped right before he said he's not in this league. I was about to be like, all right, cool. And then I'm stopped in my tracks because he decided to say that last line. Oh boy, Brian H. All right, brother, you want to address it? Do you want me to address it? Because I can say some things.
I'm gonna let you take it first.
Okay, all right. Here's the thing, Brian H.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, but not because of the last thing you said. That's too harsh.
Okay.
I think that was the whole point, right? It's you think about what Seth Rollins is doing and how he's aligning himself. He's a chess player, right? He's aligning himself with the guys that are strategic. That's why, when Paul Heyman goes on shows with Ariel Helwani, it makes sense for him to give the plan, because this is what Paul Heyman does. He schemes, he plots, he plans. That's what makes him the architect and the oracle and all these things. That's what makes him a valuable manager because he comes up with these ideas and plans, right? Mm-hmm. That's his role. That's his gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like being a chess master. Pawns on chessboards have to be sacrificed for the greater good, right? Even if you want to keep it lighter than that checkers. How many times do we say, okay, we're going to keep all of our pieces on the board? No, sometimes you got to slide. You got to take get jumped over just to sacrifice you jumping over them because you got to get pieces off the board because the whole point of winning the game is as long as I have the last piece on the board. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean I'm going to keep everything on the board. I just need to win. So sometimes taking a step back, take a step forward, it's the ultimate disrespect. But it was man, I think that was Seth Rollins' whole point. Is LA Knight, you're kind of irrelevant. You're pawning all this too. He's like, yeah, I should have beat you, but you faked an injury, so I took you out. But now me winning this way made me look bad. It took away my credibility. And now people aren't taking me seriously. And you got the championship. And I'm the one that beat you. And they're like, yep, you got. This is, and now LA Knight is pissed. Okay. Now I'm mad. It's because I'm trying to climb the ranks. But if I'm constantly being put in these type of situations, it does make me look crazy. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of, I think that's what kind of hurt him. No, I think that's what kind of hurt him the most, in that space where it's dang, you were just you were just a footnote in this bigger plot, and it's like, man, he's offended.
So, because the reason why I asked that, right? Because I also listened to one of your favorite wrestlers, Big Daddy Cool, Diesel.
Okay, like Diesel.
Now, yeah, I was playing some video games this week. Been a long week, so I had to sit down and relax. I had to play some Madden. And here comes Brother Hugh back to the studio. Oh, that's Brother. Wait. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So I was listening to Kevin Nash, and he brought up the fact when he was getting on LA Knight last year, saying 2 years ago, and he said he didn't want to be that guy. So he kind of backed up, and he was like, you know what? Let me just see. And he said he said he's got a catchphrase, but how over is he? Because the 1 minute, if the moment CM Punk or somebody makes fun of him, he's done. And I'm like, dang, Kevin Nash? But then I listened to what Paul Heyman was saying. He doesn't mention LA Knight at all about the pun. So now I'm wondering, and I guess the bigger question is LA Knight really on his last leg of a main event at Clash of Paris?
It's your turn now, because I know what I'm going to say, but I'm gonna let this is your turn. See, how you feeling, brother?
I mean, personally, you know how I feel about LA Knight.
Oh, here you
I
go.
feel like he's. I feel like
personally.
I mean, he's kind of dry.
No, there you go, brother Hugh.
But he was moved.
Oh, you went blank. I mean, mute. Realness?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, brother Hugh had dropped out real quick. Here's the thing. It's not. I can't wait to hear what brother Hugh has to say. His mic dropped out. It's okay.
Dang, Ron.
Do I think what's the difference more? Oh, that's not nice. I don't understand where the LA Knight hate comes from. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
Here's what I do know. I think LA Knight is a plug and play kind of guy. You know what I mean? But unfortunately for him, he's always a bridesmaid and never a bride, right? He's good enough to be in a wedding, but he's not. He plays his role in the wedding, but he's not there. He's not the bride. He's not the groom.
Right.
He's you know what I mean? And it's like he's good enough to be there. He's good enough to always be in that mix, and he can always be a contender. Certain guys, they reach certain levels, right? They're like top guys. There's Austins, there's Rocks, there's Shawn Michaels, there's Bret Hart, but then there's also guys like your Vaders, your Sids, your Takers, who they're not always champions, but they're always in that conversation. And then there's guys that can always that are like below that, like, hey, we're scratching at the door. At one point, Austin was at 97.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Shamrock. I would say more like Diamond Dallas Page. You know what I mean? Where it's like you can put him in a conversation, but he's not going over. Or hey, he's in his match, he might go over, but then he does it. But it's like, oh, okay, he underdog. I'm not expecting him to. You know what I mean? And I hate to say, sorry, brother Hugh, but like
Dolph Ziggler, you're good.
Dolph Ziggler, it was always somebody that he could get there when he got there. It's not like, oh, why is he there? You're like, oh, nah, he's a former world champion. But then you're like, Jeff Hardy sometimes, you know what I mean? Depending on what type of run he's having. So it's like, no, don't do that. He said all the time. You know what I mean? So it's like guys that they're strong enough to look like they belong there, but not to the point where this guy's the next guy that's going to carry the company, right? Jey Uso Jey Uso was there, but it's not like he was like, look, man, I'm always knocking on the door, but I'm not quite there yet. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So it's like, you know what I mean? If it makes sense, Kevin Owens to a degree, I hate to say it, you know what I mean? 100%. Not to say he's on the same level as Kevin Owens, but that's that tier. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're gonna have Roman, you're gonna have Seth, where it's like, no, you can put the strap on them at any point in time. Cody at any point in time, but then now you need constant contenders, guys that never necessarily break the plane, but when they challenge for the title, it's a main event match for a reason. People are paying to see that main event because they believe they can actually win, but for whatever reason, they don't always come up to the mix. I don't think that's where he is now, but I think for right now, that might be his role and his ceiling. You know what I mean?
That's right now, yeah.
Kind of a Sheamus type, where it's like this. You might have a run, but you'll always be in a position where if they need you to be there, you're respectable enough to be in that conversation. You know what I mean?
I'm about to say, he's a respectable role player.
Yeah, like he's a respectable main event role player. Well, it's like, look, man, we need somebody to challenge in the main event. Cool. We can throw an LA Knight there. You know what I mean? Kind of like, you know, the Mick Foley's of the group. Like I said, I'm not saying he's there now. I'm saying, to me, I think that might be his ceiling. Well, listen, we're not putting the championship on you, but we're putting you in the main event space to help move things along. And this is where you'll make a name for yourself. This is where you make your, like, look at Mick Foley, not known for being a world champion, but he did everything he did to be a main eventer, and from there he played his role in whatever role they needed him to play. And he always had a main event spot. He was never considered a mid card guy, but he was never he was always in the mix with The Rock, but he never beat him. You know, he has his moments, but it's overturned a week later. But you know, that type of transitional champions, I guess you can call it.
Okay.
How can you put him over top though? How can you get him up to the next level?
Here's the thing. Wrestling is just too hot right now. It's too hot. Like, you got too many major players at the top that are like just getting started. Like Roman's in his prime. He only got to show up 3 days out the year, and he's still bigger than everybody in the roster. Jey Uso, day in and day out, huge deal. Seth Rollins, every day in, day out, huge deal. Cody Rhodes, huge deal. There's no room sometimes. Like, the problem with wrestling in the 90s, right? There was only a few guys on top. One thing that Austin said that stuck out the most to me was when, his A&E special, he said, my biggest problem was they never built anybody else up enough to keep me at the top with a good dance sponsor, as they did with The Rock when The Rock started going off to do movies. So of course, when Brock Lesnar comes into the mix, they're like, why are you just throwing me into this match with him on a Raw without no build up? And I remember Triple H said WWE will never be that way again, when we hook our wagon up to just one person, because if something goes wrong or goes down, you have nobody that can pick up that would have happened in WWE if The Rock wasn't The Rock when Austin went down.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? The Rock picked it up and ran with it. And then, like I said, they had to move people up. Triple H wanted to take the next role. I want to be the biggest heel. You know what I mean?
Did you ever know how that was supposed to go when Austin was supposed to lose? You know how that outcome was supposed to happen?
No, not in detail. You have information for us?
Oh yeah, I shout out to Brian Gewirtz, read his book. Well, when I say read, I mean listen. So the idea was
Audible. The Audible version.
Yeah, man. So the idea was he was supposed to lose it. You're gonna love this one.
Yes.
Eddie Guerrero was supposed to interfere in the match.
Oh, really?
And yeah, Eddie Guerrero was supposed to interfere because that was supposed to be Austin's last night on Raw. Austin was going to go to SmackDown and work a program with Eddie Guerrero. And that's how we were supposed to get to that. So that's the reason why Guerrero was going to come in, beat him. I mean, help interfere. Lesnar was going to beat him. Lesnar was going to be in the King of the Ring, face RVD, then face The Rock. You know, the rest is history. But on SmackDown was supposed to be Eddie Guerrero and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now,
that would have did wonders for Eddie Guerrero's career. Not that he needed it, but still. You imagine
that? No, at that time it would have did wonders for his career, because if you remember, Eddie took a break after that because he had to go get clean. So
that's what I was that gap in between.
Yeah, so it would have definitely did wonders for his career. It may have been different for us to look at him, because if we being honest, Stone Cold Steve Austin in 2002 was not Stone Cold Steve Austin in 98 or 99, not even in 2001. So
I didn't like wrestling during that time period.
Yeah, he was kind of losing it. And, you know, people can say, oh, it should have been Austin and Hogan. Austin and Hogan obviously would have been a big deal. I'm not stupid, right? But if you look at...
Rock was too hot, bro.
Rock, exactly. Rock was way too hot. Even after, like, Rock lost it. So they both lost the belts to Jericho on the same night, as Jericho always reminds us. But then, hold on, y'all. I got the SummerSlam Spectacular one for 93. It's like the main event was like Duggan versus Yokozuna. Well, the opener. Guess who's on there? What pair facing Marty Jannetty? Dwayne Gill. As a enhancement talent. I turned it on, trying to respect you, Dustin Rhodes. He don't like the term jobber because he says disrespectful people put their body on. Shout out to brother Randy from church, because he was asking about that. I think it was him. No, it was my boy Hakeem Hibbert. That's what it was.
Oh, you know Hakeem?
Yeah, he was a star basketball player at City.
Yeah, I know Hakeem. That's my guy. He's a referee now. It's my dog.
Yeah,
his
I
brother
figured
Najee.
you would.
Yeah,
You
small
said
world.
who?
His brother Najee.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He
Yeah.
was. Hakeem was that dude in at City.
I didn't know he went to City. Small
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, they. I remember them losing to Dunbar. Like I remember vividly in 01 watching that playoff game. Well, the results on TV.
During your era, they did a whole lot of losing. I'm trying. City was never a basketball power until like 2008.
Yeah.
You're right. But the first year I was there, they was a playoff team, like a solid playoff team.
I mean, I guess that does mean something. I guess
Now,
team.
my junior senior year, by the time like my class got to the varsity,
toilet,
boo boo.
But yeah, so that was the thing. Like Austin wasn't Austin. You know what I mean? So you had to go Austin. You had to go Hogan and Rock because if you would have made Austin and Hogan, granted, we know it would have been a great match. They could have did business together. But I think that's cover up. I don't think that was the plan at all. Like people could say, we hear Stone Cold say, we hear people saying Hogan and Austin couldn't agree on who would go over. No, I don't think that was the plan at all, brother. I think the whole time, think about it. If Hogan put over The Rock, why wouldn't he put over Austin?
Right.
So Hogan knew the NWO came in and played nice. That was never the plan. Vince McMahon knew Stone Cold wasn't the old Stone Cold. So that's the reason why we had what we had.
That makes sense. All right. I mean, listen, the more you know.
Was the thing, yeah.
We need that NBC. Remember the NBC thing? Just go like, the more you know. The little fly past the screen. You got information.
Man, speaking of NBC.
Michael Jordan's coming back. George probably back. Right. George probably back. But listen, speaking of that, we do have a lot of. We got a lot of network. You're going to hear that music for the next 6 months.
Look, I've been playing that joint. It's been on my phone for years as a ringtone. Shout out to Professor Kent. We used to nerd out over the school. I mean, over theme musics because I would pull it up on my iPad and you know how we used to have them chats in Christina's office. I know it was Wickham's office, but we would be hanging out with Christina because shout out to the four of us. So and Kent would come in and we would talk about theme music, and I would be like, "Yo, but you know about this one?" And he was like, "No, but how about that CBS music?" Or just nerding out.
Yeah, that's stuff. Can you imagine the NCAA tournament theme versus the NBA NBC? That's a WrestleMania main event. If I ever saw one,
that is. I ain't gonna lie.
What's down the moment?
Nah, I'm talking about the
when they first come on,
yeah, the NCAA CBS coverage music, I guess they call it. It's every year. It's almost like it when you hear it, you know what time it is. We almost 2 days from Selection Sunday or whatever it is.
Yeah.
See, that's your basketball head though, because I'm gonna throw in the Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that's another
Monday Night Football. That's the one I'm gonna put
that's
up.
Definitely.
And then the MLB on Fox. You know, but what they don't trump? They don't trump none of the Monday Night Raw theme music from back in the day. Now, some of there's a mashup online. Somebody put on. It was around the time when Raw was like going off of USA, and they was doing a mashup, and they put together a montage of and it just seamlessly transcended into every different. Dope. Monday Night Raw theme music, man.
Send it to me. I need to see that. That's gonna be.
Yeah, I gotta find it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm all down for nostalgia.
All right, I didn't hijack the Realness show, so. No.
Oh shoot, we still talking about that?
No, it's not a hijack. I done went on a tangent. People was like, "Man, we want to talk wrestling," but
I was going with it. That's why I was like, wait a minute. I got pulled right into the conversation. I was like, oh wait, what were we talking about? It's like no, but yeah, man. I guess it's time for us to transition. We're doing pretty good on time. So Naomi and Big Jim finally having a baby. We got a baby Uso in the building. A lot of people happy. This seems uncharacteristic, right? For the pro wrestling business to celebrate institutions like family, right? Now we live in a crazy world, and the institution of family is redefined in so many different ways now. And it's refreshing to see the humanity return back to professional wrestling. Well, professional wrestling is a rugged sport, right? And because the nature of the sport and how difficult in history, pro wrestling was like a gimmick sideshow thing. So sometimes coming up, it's hard to make money. So you had to do certain things. You had to make a lot of sacrifices because that was the nature of the business. It was kind of carny. It was kind of very niche. Now it's kind of a sports entertainment. And for once, that's not a negative term. It's because there's institutions put in place where there are like maternity leave and put in order, and leaving to have children is not a bad thing. And I just finished watching Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's on the Superstar A&E channel on my Samsung TV, and he
think that need to be 2 hours.
Do I think what needs to be 2 hours?
That Ricky Steamboat.
I do.
I'm bringing you into my shenanigans because I ain't think so when I was watching. I like Ricky Steamboat, but I was like, it need to be 2 hours. But
Ricky Steamboat has an interesting story, and I didn't know as much about him as I know now. I'm okay with it, but it's deep. But Ricky Steamboat talked about wanting to leave the road and having children, and he felt like he was kind of penalized for it. So when he came back, he was on the verge, according to him, of breaking into the main event scene, or being in that upper echelon, to improve his position stock in the company, because that's what the nature. Money wasn't flying around the way it's flying around now. So you had to be there, right? And he wanted to go and, be there for his son and be an actual father. And he felt like when he came back from that, there wasn't much left for him. They had already moved on to someone else. That was the nature of the business versus nowadays, it's kind of celebrated. Triple H made a big deal about it. He said some things are more important than championships, right? And then you had an emergency episode of Stephanie McMahon's podcast, and she had Big Jim and Naomi where they announced that they were pregnant and they're having a child. I'm like, man, we're seeing such a different dynamic of people being celebrated in this industry. Now, of course, Rikishi was trolling on the internet saying, a little irresponsible because she's a champion. Now, I think Rikishi's always working.
He's always working, bro.
Wait, whoa. I thought that was Sintold.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's put it this way. There was a running joke. Let's put it that way because of the nature of old school business, right? Yeah. And it was like, you know what I mean? It's almost like tongue in cheek because a lot of people probably, like in Rikishi's generation coming up the way they did, especially thinking about how he came up in the business, probably looked and felt and think that way. Like, I don't know if I would have did that, man. I'm kind of on a run right now. Versus now, it's like, look, man, if you're valued and you're doing what you're doing, take care of your business, you can come back. Look at Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch had her daughter, came back, and she's just as big as she once was. Yeah. Lost a little bit of steam. She beats Bianca, gets it right back. You know what I mean? It's a different dynamic, but how you guys feeling about the way the business is kind of going now, where something as a married couple on the road who had been trying for some time now have an opportunity to bring a child into this world, and just kind of, to me, it looks like it's the face of the way that the industry is changing. So to me, it attracts new talent. It makes athletes not to be as afraid. Carmella may feel different about it, but in her situation,
right.
But it at least sends a message to the world and other athletes and potential people that say, well, I don't want to get into the business because this or that. But now we're kind of seeing the WWE prioritize families and at least make accommodations so that it's not like, all right, well, you're not here to make us money, so we can't do nothing with you. I get, you know what I mean? It's a different attitude about it. But how you guys feeling about the way things are now versus what we are accustomed to, from, I guess, a time before ours?
I'm glad it's that way now because, it doesn't seem like you're going to be punished for leaving. And I see a lot of gumps out there talking that smack, talking about, talking about, why she do it at this point in time, why it happened. No, bro. Like, this is real life. Real life is always more important than a job, to be honest.
There you go, brother Hugh.
So, like, I don't want to hear none of that extra noise about, she was wrestling, this, that, whatever. She's 7 weeks. SummerSlam was a couple weeks ago. Well, she didn't know. So we don't want to hear none of this bashing, none of that. Because the major thing is that they have a blessing right now.
That's right.
They've been working for forever trying to get this blessing, and they finally got it. Let her go do it. She's going to be as over as she is now when she comes back. I'm glad
God dang it.
I'm glad that she reached that level of superstardom, because like I said, same thing with Becky Lynch. It's gonna take
It
nothing for
guaranteed
her
her
to come
spot.
back, and once her music
Yeah.
hit and she jumps back into character, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
It's
It
over.
guaranteed her spot. They said, we'll see you in 2 years. Like, so,
Mm-hmm.
you know, wait till my child gets to a point where they're able to. So that I was thinking the same thing, brother Hugh. It guaranteed her spot back when she returns at some point. So, how about you, Brian? Like I said, you're pretty close with this family. You're a bloodline guy. How you feeling about the nature of the business and, you know, Big Jim and Naomi bringing a baby Uso into the world? Baby Uso.
Right.
First of all, I just want to say I got triggered because the way Brother Hugh just came at the world is the conversations I'm used to having with Brother
See?
Hugh when he told me I needed to make a decision back
Hey,
in January 2022.
that's
He,
crazy.
he yelled at me just like that. And it was a decision
You back.
that changed my life. And I was like, whoa, because I don't want to go back there. But Brother Hugh, just the same way he yelled at y'all, I was like, wow. But you know, man.
Oh my gosh.
It was one of those things where I didn't want to, like, you know, it was hard not to predict, if we being honest. And then when you got the whole world saying she probably pregnant. And I love when
I was part of the whole world.
yeah, John even said, like, his daughter, he's like, man, my daughter told me, she was like, she looking at all these rumors, but she said, you know what, my daddy ain't say nothing, so I ain't gonna say nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was sitting there, man, and I just couldn't be happier for them. I believe, in all honesty, this was the best time. This is the best blessing. As all the blood and sweat and tears that Trinity Fatu put into this wrestling business for us, the ups and downs, being nice, and everything she had said on the first version of that interview with Stephanie McMahon, when she talked about everything that she had been through. And you know, just always kind of like, and then developing this proceed with caution character, you know, because it is still like, it's hard to root against her, but you like rooting against her because she's hilarious. And like he was saying in that first interview, he's like, man, I get that at home, proceed with caution. But for her to go through all of that and now being able to be a mother, because this is something she wanted, and it's something special about when you think something is out of the cards for you and you just like, okay, you accept it, but then God says and blesses you. I was so happy for them.
Talk about it.
There you go.
I think it was just the best time, you know what I mean? I think her being a world champion, so she, like you said, already ready made if she decides to come back. And if she doesn't decide to come back, and we saw her last match at SummerSlam, thank you for an incredible feud. And the fact that she got to share that moment with her dad, somebody who she almost lost, it was just amazing. And when you look at this year, to be coming this year a tag team champion, to lose the tag titles for a bigger story with Jade Cargill, for her and Jade to make history, to have the first women's match that didn't have a stipulation in WrestleMania history.
True.
That wasn't for a title. To go into from that to this relatable feud with Bianca Belair that still ain't finished, then to win the Money in the Bank, create custom merch, a custom briefcase, something that hasn't been done before, then to have that championship and then a custom championship.
You can't forget about the scooter.
Oh, the scooter, you know, and then to say. And then what I loved about the announcement was she said, I ain't giving this back. Now, I know with children, especially, you know, she mentioned about her being a high risk. Of course, the selfish wrestling fan in me wanted to see her constantly on television in the back sitting around talking about, I'm pregnant. You can't do nothing to me. You can't say nothing
Right.
to me. Or do it via satellite. You know, I want her still involved in the product, holding the belt hostage, all that stuff. But I get it, you know, and like she deserves to go home, relax, and bring in a beautiful baby into this world. And if she decides to come back, I'm gonna root even more for it. So I'm so excited, and I'm glad that women can do this. Y'all know,
There you go.
like,
Yeah, now right.
like, it's so many. You mentioned, you know, you mentioned how like Ricky Steamboat, because he wanted to be a dedicated father, had to give up an Intercontinental Championship. So we don't even talk about his run. We just talk about the match where he won it, right? But that was a man who made a great choice, by the way, because you know he's still Ricky Steamboat. But then if you look at women like Luna Vachon and Sensational Sherry, who couldn't be there with their children, you know, and this is all like talked about in their Dark Side of the Ring episodes. They couldn't be there for their children, right? But then you have somebody like a Trish Stratus who had to essentially finish her career. Also, want to send our love and condolences to her. She announced the passing of her mother. But you know, you sit back and she finished her career. Michelle McCool's and Maurice, they finished their career. They go have children. They come back for, you know, a run or two. But now being able to see the Becky Lynches, to see the Alexa Blisses, now Naomi, being able to see them come back, you know, they're bringing, and then you know her just snapping right in the character, and then she talked about her hormones.
I love that. I love it.
And said, "Look, the bloodline."
Adam Pearce, he got out of there.
Yeah, and the bloodline is continuing, you know, and Roman, you know, seeing Roman's moment backstage where he said, you know, hey, I ain't got the, you know, y'all got the lead now. You know,
I don't got the babies no more. He's like, man, we all good. We all. He said, we all in school now.
Right.
But I thought he just welcomed another baby.
Nah, that was fake.
That was
fake news. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But you know, and that's all. As somebody who like my cousin had like his last, and I was like, yeah, you know, mine's grown up. You know, so
you got the babies now.
Yeah, you know, he was supposed to beat me. I was supposed to be the one with the kids that their kids were supposed to babysit my kids, but then they had more kids, you know. But I thought this was awesome. I'm so excited for them. She deserves it, and you know, let's proceed with caution because there's a baby on board.
There you go. You can't go wrong with that. Definitely shout out to Trinity and Jonathan Fatu on their bundle of joy on the way. So congratulations to them. Shout out to WWE as well for being, like I said, this is best for business. No pun intended. It's no other way to say it. So but I'm glad that they are you know, this is the nature of the business now versus the way it used to be. So yeah, shout out to Evolution and all that good jazz. You know, things are evolving. So that's good. But moving on, we talked to our good friend, Brother D, Tomorrow's Die Sporting Network.
Yeah, man.
He brought some things to our attention. And of course, the ESPN WWE partnership that launches officially September 20th with a show, Wrestlepalooza. I feel like I've heard that name before. It's an older name, but
it's an old ECW show. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I knew it was somewhere. I'm like, I feel like I've heard Wrestle, but you're absolutely right. In Indianapolis, I'm sure we'll get a Pat McAfee appearance. They love Indianapolis.
Probably,
they love him.
Yeah. Right.
You know, but yeah, this is going to kick off the partnership between WWE and ESPN, and I'm sure it's going to be done with a bang, just because, you know, that's how they do these things now as they expand the money. This is a huge deal for a lot of different reasons, but like I said, our good brother D, Demar's Die, had he pointed out some things, and he pointed out some stuff that I thought he made some really excellent points about. But Brandon, could you read the press release that D had put into into one of the group chats earlier today, if you don't mind?
Sure. Beginning September 20th, ESPN becomes the exclusive domestic home of all WWE premium live events in the U.S. All WWE PLEs will be available on ESPN's new direct-to-consumer streaming service earlier than previously announced, with select simulcasting on ESPN linear platforms. Now, to kick off this new partnership, WWE and ESPN are coming together for a massive PLE with the first ever Wrestlepalooza on Saturday, September 20th, live from Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. You know, so interesting about all of that.
What's that?
This means war. You know, we didn't get flagged, I wanted to have the I think that's Ricky Dillard, that song. I wanted to have that playing. I was like, man, what if I had my Aunt Nadine's version where she sung it, but you know the mix wasn't that great, or as far as just church audio. But I was like, this means war.
Why can't we have the old fashioned war? Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. See, this how New York depend on Vaughn.
There you go.
Charles Jenkins.
There you go.
See, Charles Jenkins, you know, he known for Jesus can work it out, you know. But yeah, I forgot he did one too.
You better stop for your catch the Holy Ghost while
Right.
we're on the show.
Right.
Hey, I ain't played shouting music I ain't played in a minute. Actually.
Don't call it a comeback.
See, hey.
But we talk about this partnership. One of the things that that he had said that kind of caught my attention. He was like, man, from a business perspective, this is insane because you talk about Peacock retaining the rights to Saturday night's main event and the replay of SmackDown, and as well as making the announcement that Peacock will be, you know, that will be where John Cena's final match will take place at Saturday night's main event.
Right.
And one of the things that D was saying, he's like, man, from a business perspective, this is absolutely insane because once again, they're spreading the content around. You know, we come from the era of the WWE Network. It was a game changer. Like, and we all talk about how much we miss it. But we talked about the partnership last week, but one thing that D had pointed out, and I said, man, this is genius. He's like, if the way that they're spreading the content around and working with, like, if we had everything here at one point, listen, we're going to leave you with this, this, and this while we take it here. So it's like they're not burning bridges for a new partnership, right?
Well, I got a graphic for you too while you talk. This right here.
There you go.
Right
okay.
there. Boom.
This is insane.
Yeah,
Like,
this is crazy.
When you look at this graphic, you see WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix. You see NXT, WWE NXT on Tuesdays on CW, WWE Evolve Developmental Program Wednesdays on Tubi that they definitely announced. You have WWE SmackDown Friday on USA, and now the replays will be on Peacock. And then you have Saturday night's main event, which will be quarterly, exclusive to Peacock, as well as WWE Premium Live Events monthly on ESPN. And I do believe the backlog will be still on Peacock. I could be wrong as far as
it's still on
WWE
Peacock.
Network stuff. Okay, and of course, AAA had, you know, one of the largest viewed Triple Mania staple shows, their WrestleMania of their promotion on YouTube, which I thought looked really good this year. Like I've seen clips of it before, but I don't think it was the biggest one as far as the superstars in the match card, but it was the biggest one as far as their company is concerned on YouTube. Right. So, man, you know, this is the first run WWE program on all these platforms. It's ridiculous to see how WWE has almost a chokehold on not just cable television, but streaming as well. Cable, broadcast, stream, like it's all the way across the board. And it's like, man, D was saying, like, man, it's crazy business move that WWE has their hand almost in every space of, you know, TV, streaming, etc. And I was like, man, it's crazy that this is what it's come to. You know, a lot of people, you know, and then of course we're kicking it off with, a brand new PLE known as Wrestlepalooza. Man, how you guys feeling about WWE kind of putting this whole thing in a chokehold from a business perspective? You know, we haven't always agreed with a lot of things, but one thing I've noticed is that pandemic has got them in money making mode. Like I'm in money making mode, my own dang on self. Where it's like, bro, I'm not gonna take my foot off the gas. And it's like WWE is just, they're making sure that they never go broke for more reasons than one. But how you guys feel about WWE kind of taking over almost every piece of the media?
I don't mind it at all.
Nope,
as if you would.
I mean, so like, it's step your game up. at the end of the day, and you know what they said about this night?
Mm-hmm.
John Cena is going to face an opponent he hasn't faced in more than a decade.
See, they're selling it.
That can only mean one man.
This is where you cue Brock Lesnar's music.
Exactly. Now, we bro, what can All Out put up against that?
No, I just cut. This is
nothing at all, bro.
I understand what you mean by this means war.
Yeah, like the same day as All Out. You speed up, or as far as we know, because they could have had this all playing behind the scenes. But you speed up this partnership and say, okay, PLEs. What did they give Peacock per se to say, all right, y'all can have? You know what I mean? They had to pay a pretty penny. I know that
you
deal.
Think so?
I believe.
I think in the deal up, the deal
ended. Yeah,
it's ended. Okay.
Yeah, the deal.
The deal's coming up. So it's like, you know what I mean. Instead of re up with Peacock, that was $1 billion deal. Instead of re up with them, they like, look, okay, we'll keep exclusive stuff on here, and we want the replay of SmackDown. Like, okay, we'll keep your backlog.
Yeah, NXT PLEs on there too.
Right, and then we'll give us the replay because it's all universal. With SmackDown being on USA now,
right?
It was same different when they left USA. Okay, we're leaving USA. The only one that bit the dust was Fox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, good. We're taking Raw off USA, but we'll bring SmackDown. Okay, cool, no problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're not leaving these places empty, places that they have relationship with. They've had long relationships with, you know what I mean, with USA and Universal. So it's like, all right, we're not leaving you empty-handed. Yeah.
TNA might end up on there next.
I mean, they got space for it. They got space for it. So
now, if anybody, and the thing is, right? So I'm gonna pull up this. So I know people been talking about the expensive. So let's kind of break it down. If you're somebody who does have cable, right? Depending on which service you have. So I'm gonna speak for myself, right? So I have the Xfinity. I had Xfinity cable, but now I just got Xfinity. What you call it? Internet. So I get Peacock for free, right? So that's checked off. But I got YouTube TV. So with my YouTube TV, boom, CW, USA, ESPN. Because that was the thing that they didn't lead with, which a lot of people didn't understand why they didn't lead with, was telling people, hey, if you have cable subscription already, you don't have to pay extra for the ESPN content. For this portion of the ESPN partnership, and I know if you got like some cable brands, like if you got Xfinity also, you Netflix for free also. So, but I do understand if you are a person who does everything a la carte, it can be a little expensive. You're looking at what $39.99 or $29.99 for the ESPN package. YouTube is free. You got to pay what $7.99 for Peacock. However much you paying for Netflix plus your internet subscription. So I get that part, but I'm very excited for this. And like I said, this means war, brother Hugh. When you really think about how they decided, like I said, AEW, they wanted to compete.
Hey man, Tony was talking a lot of smack early on.
Yeah, and like the Real Dwayne Allen been saying before, you going against Shawn Michaels and Triple H, two people who was living and survived the Attitude Era, where there was a Monday Night War. This is nothing, and
this is nothing.
And then you bring in Ari Emanuel, who's ruthless in the boardroom, like he's like Jerry McDevitt ruthless. So
no, Jared, not Ari Emanuel is the reason he's a gazillionaire.
Exactly. So when you look at all of this, man, look, wrestling fans benefit. Do I think AEW is going anywhere? No, but what I hope is this forces them to step their game up. No more of these random wrestlers that only the wrestling fans know about that watch everything. No, bro, we need stories that really hook us. We need superstars.
Yeah. I don't know how to ask this question, but it's like, is it possible for a superstar to jump ship to AEW, like if you look at Scott Hall and Kevin Nash started all this in the first place. Let me just say that. That's why Scott Hall is the man. It's because it's like he really started all of this stuff. Like he started the whole war, he started everything. But it's because the industry was in a space where there was no guaranteed money.
Yep.
Right. That wasn't a thing. So he said, I'm trying to improve my position in the company. My money's plateaued. I want to make those big bucks. Listen, man, they tried to work something out. Nothing made sense. And WCW, billionaire Ted, bottomless checkbook, offered guaranteed contracts, and he left for the money. The money doesn't seem to be the big thing now, right? The guaranteed contracts, the downside guarantees are guaranteed for a reason, whether you're in, whether you're out. And AEW is much nicer anyway. Like they were the ones that kind of showed that you can be, be a humanitarian in a way, and you treat your wrestlers like people and not products, right? So you understand the lore back then. Okay, well, these guys are paying much money, more money, less dates, and it's hot right now. So one just like, oh, WCW is better than WWE. It's like, no, wait a second. The only reason we didn't leave because this is a wave coming and we're going to do something different. Scott Hall said, man, I have no idea what I'm walking into. All I know is they're going to pay me more money to do less dates, and I got a family. All right, we'll figure it out. He didn't know whether they were going to be any good or not. Versus after a while, people started jumping ship for popularity reasons. So it's not like, oh, this is the cool thing to do, or they're going to give me a chance, or I'm going to be a bigger star. He took the money. Now that dynamic has been erased. How does somebody say, like, I'm choosing a superstar? How does Randy Orton say, I'm leaving WWE for AEW now? What's the appeal? What's the pull? See, like I'm talking, let's think about it. Scott Hall was an established star. Like he wasn't a guy that wasn't used. He wasn't a guy that, people felt like he should have been in the mix, and he wasn't. No, he was in the mix. Like he was, you know what I mean? He left for the bread. Yeah, like
the Intercontinental Champion, top Intercontinental Champion at that time. When you think back, but yeah,
he was set, Brian H. To your point, he was about to work a program with Shawn Michaels before he left. Remember, he said I was supposed to work with Scott for the next 9 months.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that long. So he was going to turn heel. Yeah. Yep. Well, so like it's funny because as I was listening to Kevin Nash talk, right, because he was talking about the whole Bret Hart situation, and he said they talked about it with each other. Yeah, but one of the things he said was he was going to be like. He said Scott was leaving. He said, once he said, if you take the zero, it won't make a difference to the Man family, it'll make a difference to the Hall family. Scott was going to leave. But Kevin Nash said, considering what he had did over at WCW before, if this would have made, gave him the guaranteed money, he wouldn't have left.
Bingo.
Oh, yeah, he definitely would have stayed.
Yeah, he said the money didn't change, but that it was guaranteed. Like I didn't have to work for the dates, forget it. He said he would have stayed.
Right.
Yeah.
But like you think about what is the appeal especially if mid-carders are coming back, right? When you think about it, it'd be one thing if you had somebody like a Rusev or Aleister Black or Andrade go over there and become a megastar.
Bingo.
Or because like I believe if they would have used one of them right, they could have made one of them into a main event contention.
Which one? Pick one.
Aleister Black.
No.
I think the way they was trying to like bring him, if you would have let him use his creativity, I know you always say with him he's small, right? But just think about the class of people that's over there as well. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So and I think he does hit the way he puts together his stories. He does the creative storytelling. He has a creative mind, and he's you could tell like just listening to him and talking to him. He's a team player, you know what I mean? But I think the Young Bucks, I'm not going, not saying this is what he said. I think the Young Bucks kind of caused that, kind of like instigated these rumors and stuff. But I think with him, could have made him into a star. I think, and same with Rusev, right?
Right.
But if they
I thought Rusev had a shot.
Yeah, if they come back home, not really doing they're doing stuff, don't get me wrong, right? But it's not like they came back to WWE and went into the main event.
No, they picked up right where they left off, in that same middle.
It
was there as when they left and when they came back.
But getting consistency, right? They're
There you
getting,
go. Yeah.
they're being able to work matches like they was doing
Yep.
over there. They're not just the big pop in it. No, it's a gradual. They're working right.
And it's still a story there too.
Bingo. So
Yeah.
if they left and came back, the only
Yeah.
person who really went over there and thrived was Ricochet. And the truth be told is because that's a better fit for him. And
Sure.
he got tired of WWE because, when it looked like there was like contract issues, that was
Okay.
the rumors that they didn't believe he was worth X amount of dollars.
Okay.
They pigeonholed him,
Which
they
is an insult.
typecasted him. Right. So if that's the case, if they only saw him in a certain way, Ricochet benefited because he was able to do other stuff, and he's benefited. So I can't even say Swerve, only because Swerve was he was gone. It's been so long, you know what I mean? And he never really
sure.
got going on
Never
his
got a
main
run over
roster
there.
run,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, to answer the question, there's no appeal. You know what I mean? And then you got Katana Chance and Lacey Lane. What was her name? I forgot her name. I just saw it, but she's out here talking about she's more of an AEW person, and it brought me back to your point where you said, who's in WWE's good graces, and who's not. She's
Right.
like, they felt very bad. Storylines wasn't used. Well, they did win the tag team championships, and afterwards they just didn't get over.
There you go.
They had an opportunity. People can say what they want. I'm never going to sit up here and say I'll never disrespect the women's tag titles because I've seen people work with them. I've seen a lot of like, what are y'all doing with these tag teams? But I've seen Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax make it entertaining. Obviously, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte's making it entertaining. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez is making it entertaining. Do we have to say every time Bianca and Jade or Bianca and Naomi had it? Sasha and Billy. So they made them entertaining. It's just that everybody, you got to get over it, and they didn't. So everybody else, there's no appeal to say, I'm going to leave WWE and go to AEW.
Yeah.
Unless they give you more money than WWE's giving you.
True. Yeah, I'm talking like in your prime, like in your prime, not like I'm getting older. Runs, you know what I mean? Like literally, like that's people forget that. Go ahead.
Look who's on their way back.
Yeah.
It might be two of them.
Who else?
Cope.
Oh man,
who?
Yeah, I know, right?
You want to hear something funny today?
Nah, because I keep hearing rumors that his contract is up at the end of the year. And people are speculating that it's going to be him and Cena last match.
I mean, I showed Jonathan,
pop, bro.
Yeah, I showed Jonathan him on AEW because I was showing him them singing the song. International crowds with Dynamite. Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, he's back," and then he's like, "Oh, wait a minute."
No, no, my friend.
That's
no, my friend. No, my friend.
Which is another angry rant I had.
Oh gosh, here we go.
We waited for Christian, this version of Christian, to be, the whole turtleneck and the father and all of that. And he's been great. For the first time, you could have made an argument that Christian Cage greater than Adam Copeland or Edge. And what do? They pair him up. I wouldn't feel bad if I at least got a world title run out of Christian. Like,
there you go. I wanted that.
Just let me see him raise that AEW championship. We saw this man win one of them.
The contract, yeah.
The contracts, right? Because I feel like they got multiple. It's probably just one.
I think,
and then for that just to go to waste. What in the world is this? So I was disappointed, and I know they're trying to play story. Christian's still, I'm still this, and then Edge will say, "Yeah, we know he's an a-hole, but he's my a-hole." Pause. So
hold on.
He ain't lying. So I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, I don't try to always be critiquing this product, but goodness gracious, what are you doing?
They had to do it before WWE did it. They had to put them back together.
Yeah,
and get that run.
The Dudleys are back together doing a reunion.
Yeah,
sorry, Brian.
Right.
The Hardys are back together. It's like, all right, listen, we old fellas. We gotta get our last runs in.
Insert Alonzo Mourning, Jeff.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
No, I was watching The Wire. I finally seen that one GIF.
When Weebay found out that they had hit up an undercover cop. That was Kima.
You know she was a cop.
Yeah, bro. She. Yeah.
Now the funny thing is in season 2 when I see Sammy, my god brother, in there throwing the in the basketball when they was scouting.
On the basketball.
I was like, yo, he had the same dribble, and I was like, yo, that's Sammy.
That's crazy.
People go back to watch The Wire a lot recently.
Everybody knows somebody in The Wire.
Man, who you exactly?
Yeah, shout out to the homie Dawn Montgomery. She was watching. I said, "Whoa, I gotta avoid your tweets." I DM'd. I said, "Yo, we actually just started watching this. This is my first time." I said, "So I'm looking at your older tweets, but I can't get the show ruined for me."
Wow.
Dang, you make me want to go back and watch it now.
The first time I didn't power through season 2.
You got to do it, bro. I went back and watched it a couple months ago. Early in the year, I remember I did it because it kept popping up. I forgot for what reason. Then I was like, I want to go back and because I watched it when I was in, we were in high school. So I was like, let me go watch it back and now see if I remember it the way I remember it. But it's just as good. And now, like at the time, I didn't understand the critiques for the later seasons. I think it was season 5. I think it was a problem.
Yeah.
But I went back and watched it now. I was like, okay, I'm as an adult and as a media professional, I was like, oh, okay, I see where people felt like there was a drop off or was rushed. Anyway, but yeah. But speaking of rushed, fellas, let's wrap this up. We're coming to an end. Now it's time for So Long, but we'll sing just one more song.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for doing your part. You
sure are smart.
Me and you. And
my dog Blue.
We can do anything that we wanna do.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, it's time for almost say So Long. John Cena, fellas. I've enjoyed John Cena's last run as a WWE superstar. I think he's done an excellent job. I think he has that match with Cody was the icing on the cake. I was like, you know what, John? That's how you walk away from this business. Like he said, I got to just get one more classic, and he probably got maybe 1 or 2 more left in him. But like for somebody,
on
you got in TV? Oh
yeah, man. I just watched Gunther. Like me and Ariana was watching Gunther and CM Punk. And I was explaining to her like I had to sit there and watch it. I said, "She's like, you missed stuff." I said, "Yes." I got to brace myself because that Cena Cody match, like I said, the feeling that I had when I left watching that, and I said, I just wanted to, like, if I could have went up to both of them afterwards and shook their hand and said thank you, I would have, because I was like, I literally just watched the greatest match I've ever seen in person.
That's what pro wrestling is all about. That's the beauty of it, and the fact that John Cena, I'm telling you, like, for years you can't wrestle. The first time I've ever heard, yes, he can. I said, bro, there you go.
Yeah.
And shout out to Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes had to figure out, okay, John has talked about this. If somebody's saying, let's go Cena sucks, the fans have officially exited you out of the conversation. He's getting both chants. You know what I mean? Like, they're rooting for him and him. But Cody Rhodes stayed so steady in the midst of that entire match and found his way of getting himself, like he never let the audience forget he was there too. John Cena, for years, we watched his matches, and it seemed like John Cena was always these programs by himself until it got violent with like people like Edge, because Edge was one of his greatest rivals because he commanded the attention of the audience when it came to John Cena, because he was like so anti. Same thing with Randy Orton. So that's why those matchups are so important. Cody Rhodes had that moment with him. Like I said, that Cody Rhodes was John Cena's young boy for a long time, and for them to go out and do what they did, I was like, man. And John literally said, that's the best. I can't do any better than that. He said, it's the best match I've had. So I was like, okay, that was like, okay. It doesn't matter what he does at this point. And then of course Brock Lesnar comes out. Now you're just like, bro, we might cry when he's not here anymore. Because like if you walk away at that high of a level, and then you still got more to come out, you got 12 dates left to go. And it's like, here we are. What is there left for John Cena to do, brothers? What else do we want to see happen with him before he finally it says, okay, we're gonna call us a quits. We did our part. I'm gonna disappear for a few years, and I'm sure he'll pop back up at a WrestleMania with a new T-shirt and make his appearance and announce the indoor attendance record or whatever the case may be.
Right,
And
right.
the fans go crazy. But
do we even need the Grand Slam anymore? We don't really need it.
Nah.
To be honest, he's already the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just.
I still think we get it though.
I don't think you're going to get anybody more accomplished than John Cena in WWE, including Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns works a very limited schedule, so it's only so much he can do. As far as you just running up numbers, you know what I mean, accolades and pay-per-views and matches, you know what I mean. Like if you just, when it's all said and done, of course, Roman's impact is probably going to have a lasting, but John Cena's work ethic is just beyond this world. And we all know Cody's going to try to chase him, but Cody's also has a family, so John didn't. You know what I mean? John just got married, years ago. He was like, I can't get married. I'm married to the business. I'm married to my job. You know what I mean? So, what do you guys want to see John Cena do next? How do we wrap this up? What will make you guys happy to say, you know what? I'm good. I'm glad it ended this way. What are we thinking?
I don't even know.
Exactly.
Like this, after that Cody match, I'm like, and then Brock Lesnar come out. You know how that's going to go down. I'm like, bro, I'm good, bro. John, you ain't got to do nothing else, man.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't. I mean, maybe put over some young
piece.
stars.
He did that already. He did that for a whole year. Remember, he lost. He's like, okay, Solo got him. Bro,
talking about like a Braun Breaker or a Gunther.
Okay, there you go. A future main event guy,
right? Because those, yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that, brother.
I'm tripping.
What are you thinking?
Drew McIntyre.
That'd be good.
That would be a great one.
And I say this personally because I've keep hearing Drew say to anybody who will listen, he got stuff in the chamber. It's personal to him. He talks about.
Yeah, that's right. He got treated back with John Cena's rise.
Yep.
3MB
Give me
days,
Drew McIntyre, John Cena. He said, look, he wants that WWE championship. I know he wanted to take out, he wanted to take it from Cena. Everybody keep getting in the way. I would honestly love, I don't think it's one. I love if Drew beat Cody for it.
Yeah.
And then him and Cena have a match for it. But I really want to see Drew McIntyre and John Cena have a program before it's all said and done. Because I want to, it's this version of Drew McIntyre, man. It's like none other.
It's untouchable.
Thank you, CM Punk. Because he was doing stuff, right? Once Drew came back and he had the full beard, and we got Drew Galloway in WWE when he first went to NXT, right? It was cool, but he was a babyface. Then he joined with Ziggler, and he was the heel, and it was like, okay, you do look
a psychopath.
Yeah, and he looked more intimidating.
Menacing.
But
menacing.
But he was like losing to the comeback Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 35, and he was just doing stuff. Then he becomes a good baby face. He takes down the Beast, takes down Brock Lesnar, but nobody was around. No fans was around. Then he kind of plateaued a little bit. Even when he turned heel, it was still like, but you're heel, whatever. But CM Punk coming back, it made you. It was like everything kind of happens like a blessing in disguise, right? CM Punk gets hurt, because he kind of took took some of the juice of the rivalry that Seth Rollins had with CM Punk, because we was like, okay, we know y'all got issues, but wait, Drew's mad too, and then the whole WrestleMania, and it just set him onto a sure enough warpath. And he said, if you think the stuff with John Cena was something, CM Punk was something, wait till you see the stuff with John Cena. So yeah, that's what I want to see next.
Okay. How about you, brother Hugh? Anything you want to see left of John Cena to do at this point?
What else is there for him to do, to be honest? Besides, like I said, put over some of the top talent.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that. You were talking about future main event guys like Gunther or Braun Breaker. How do you see that kind of playing out? Or what do you think will be the best course of action or best route for John to successfully, kind of, I guess, I don't say put him over, but like really, him leaving out, giving back to a Braun Breaker or Gunther, helping them establish those guys? Brother Hugh's mic just went completely out. He's going in right now. What I'm saying is because John Cena and putting him over because all these other gumps will never understand that John Cena has been working hard all this time, and it don't even matter what they would do for real because Braun Breaker or Gunther is the future. You know what I'm saying? And John Cena would so it's all good. Yeah, I got you. Okay, brother Hugh, I appreciate that, man. I can't wait till he goes back and watch this. But John Cena, I think, man, Gunther or Braun Breaker. I think probably, I don't know. I don't think Gunther, he would cave John Cena's chest in while he's trying to do movies. He doesn't need to tear anything. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, I think Brother Hugh, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I did a complete voiceover while you were talking because your mic went out.
It went out.
If you go back and watch this, bro, you went all the way in, but all you hear is my voice over you as you going in, and you were on the big screen, man. But
that's gonna be fun.
I don't know if you want to repeat what you said, but if you want to go back and kind of go ahead and say what you were saying before I add voiceover.
I basically just said, look, I don't even know what I want at this point.
Okay.
As long as John Cena comes out and like for his last match, as long as he comes out and gives us that type of performance that he gave us at SummerSlam, I'm good with it.
There you go.
I would love for him to go up against a Braun Breaker, a Gunther, you know, just to be in the ring with those guys. He can go over if he want, John Cena. Sure. As long as those guys are in the ring with him and they put up
the rub.
Right. You're good. You're good. So give those guys the rub on the way out. I really don't care to see an Edge or Jericho or anybody else come back and try to have a match with him. But I get it at the end of the day, especially if it's someone like Edge. That was possibly, most likely his biggest rival.
I don't.
So
like
I get it.
Just, if you grow your hair back out, stop wearing gray, cut it out. But yeah, either way, I'm trapped in these two spaces, brother. Here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm in a space where I'm like, okay, do I just want to see like something fun, like an Edge coming back? It's like, look, there's no real prize to it, right? Edge is just like, hey, I heard you was leaving. You got to see me on the way out the door. You know what I mean? Well, that's fun versus like an actual story where it's like, all right, well, John Cena's got one more beef to address, which is what I think we'll get with Brock Lesnar. But you know, Brock Lesnar, he works part-time, so he gets in and he gets out.
Right.
So it's not like it's going to lead to a world title run for Brock Lesnar. It's just, hey, the cowboy wants to wrangle one more time. And Brock Lesnar is so imposing. You don't need it to make any sense. It's like, Brock Lesnar, why would you do that? He just tells you why, like, because I felt like it. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess so. That seems like Brock Lesnar. So it's like, I don't need, I think him and Cody Rhodes is probably the last serious storyline. Or probably him and Brock Lesnar, right? But yeah, I'm with you, brother Hugh. I think at that point, I just let's just ride. After that match with Cody, like I said, I'm good. We saw a heel turn. He turned back. He made his peace with our truth. I'm like, I'm straight. I think now you just ride the wave, make your appearances, and we kind of say, okay, let's send off John as fans. Let's send off John Cena in the right light as he deserves because of just all the years of service. And then, like I said, I think he's had a spectacular run coming back. Him turning heel.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was just a footnote. It wasn't like a full run. You know what I mean? Like Hogan had a run that was like, okay, and it gave him a second career. And then people loved it so much to turn him back babyface. Hogan is God versus so he's immortal for a reason. It's ridiculous.
I don't like the babyface turn back. I'm still not fond of that, but I think it could have been done better. But still, it makes sense.
Are you talking about
John Cena when he turned back to a face? Yeah.
I don't know what we expected because it's like he had limited dates anyway. Like he wasn't gonna. But you remember when I said it? Like I think when it's all said and done, he's gonna like look at all the damage. Like you know how most villains be always like, okay, cool, we've been villains up to this point, and then they have a change of heart at the end of the movie. It's like, all right, well, I've done all this damage, but the last good deed I can do is try to right this one wrong and set the tone for everybody else around me. And yeah, of course, it didn't make any sense, and I think it was meant to be that way on purpose to throw us off, or it's kind of a glitch in the system. You know what I mean? Well, I was like, huh? Does that make any sense? Why all of a sudden she's like, you know what? Yeah. Well, the face turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the what brother Hugh said, going back to being a face. The heel turn didn't work because no matter where he was going, no matter how bad he was, nobody wanted him to be. Everybody knows you're retiring. We don't care. Like, bro, no, we're not falling for that. You're not
Right.
gonna make us beat you.
Gotcha. It's like gotcha. Told you it would work.
Yeah, and he said it. I think. Well, I don't know if it's true now, but I saw a quote and he's like, "Yeah, I think my heel turn was a fail." And it was like, it was enough to get people back on track to cheering for him the right way. Because remember, he had a string of losses, and he also had never been a heel before. It gave him a chance to show his acting chops and expand it. So I was like, yo, at the end of the day, I'm good. Cena, you've done everything. He hasn't been super over the top. He hasn't been corny.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like he spoke from the heart. He's putting on this stuff in the ring. And it's fun to see the fans show their love and adoration for John Cena. John Cena is at the age now as Hogan was when he came back, to WWE in his late run. He had that late run, and his last red and yellow run in WWE. And it's like, man, John Cena is in much better shape than Hogan was at 45, just in the ring as far as his body's concerned, his work and all that kind of thing. So, fellas, I think that's it, man. Whew. Shout out to John Cena. Congratulations on 20 plus years, I guess, in the industry and just having the career that he had. So I think we have one or two stories left over, but man, I don't know, man. John Cena is a Hall of Famer in his right, and he has given us everything that he has had, and I don't know. I don't think there's much left for him to do. So
Sure. It was good.
With that being said, yeah, I think so. I agree 1000%, brothers. I think it was definitely good. I don't think it's much left to do. But yes, man. I think we did another excellent job. I'm fumbling over my words late. But follow us on all our social media platforms at Wrestling Realm. Subscribe to our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube at The Wrestling Realm. Don't forget, Championship Culture is every Tuesday, 8 p.m. on YouTube.com/The Wrestling Realm. And you can follow them on Championship Culture _on Instagram. I think that's it, fellas. I think we did a solid job. Don't forget to go back and watch all the content that Brian H is cranking out on YouTube.com. And of course, the debut of Realness Reacts officially jumps off tomorrow, Thursday, 8 p.m. YouTube.com/Wrestling Realm and your social media platforms, etc., etc. I'm looking forward to what John Cena does next. It's been a fun ride. Usually, we usually book these elaborate things, and quite honestly, I don't know if he goes out with a big bang where another swerve or something we didn't see, or he actually goes out on his back. Like, you know what? The last thing I do is putting somebody genuinely over and them putting me out of my misery. But until then, we will speculate, we will enjoy it, and we will have fun in the process. So, as usual, wrestling fans, stay wrestling fans. Don't ever change. We got to get out of here, but we will see you next week where we get ready for Clash in Paris. So that should be a good one as well. So in the meantime, we will catch you guys on the flip side. Stay safe. God bless. All that good jazz. We out.
Houston, we have a problem.
For all exclusive shows and bonus material, subscribe to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/thewrestling_realm. You can watch all of our Wrestling Realm content anytime on youtube.com/thewrestling realm.
Oh yeah.